Have you already covered that trans athlete winning this swimming competition? Genuinely just curious about your thoughts on it. I need talking points and ambition to use, feller. I've already talked about this so many times. Like, my position first and foremost is like, I don't care. And my secondary position is like, I think you don't care either. You're just like trying to make an argument. You're just trying to debate about it. And my third and final position ultimately is that it straight up does not matter. Absolutely does not matter in the grand scheme of things. Even if trans women were completely dominating certain fields of sport, the only reason why you would consider that to be completely inappropriate and unnatural is if you think trans women are unnatural. And that's it. And that is where transphobia comes from, which is basically the idea that trans women are somehow not normal, they're abnormal, they're weird, and they can't participate in stuff like that. At the top end in swimming, 95% of men were slower than the fastest female swimmers, including me, even if she was masculine. That is not an auto win. I don't even care about the minutia, like, because there's different sports where obviously like having a larger a longer T production or more testosterone production for a big part of your life and development, it can give you a competitive advantage. I just don't care. And what I mean by I don't care is that, like, I get it. Like, I understand. Even if it does have a competitive advantage, I'm saying I don't care because they're still a trans woman. You know what I mean? I think that trans women are women, and that the only reason why you consider that to be unfair is because you think they're doing it from a place of like cheating. Like you think that there's something like mischievous going on behind the scenes. And like, I personally think that not a single human being on the planet is going to undergo HRT, gender confirmation therapy, literally fucking like get brutalized by people over and over again for just the crime of existing, have their existence be debated on in public by academics every fucking day just to win like swim victories. Like, you're psychotic. It's pure projection. Stop using misogyny to defend trans women. What? I've literally not done that. I don't know where. What? Because you said you don't care about women's sports. I mean, I don't care about any fucking sports. But anyone who says that they don't care, anyone who says that they care about like high school women's sports is just a fucking liar. Like, absolutely a liar. They're lying to you. Hey, Hasan, I support trans women in sports, but please stop with if they dominated women's sports, it doesn't matter. It matters to plenty of women athletes out there, and the way to fight transphobia is with knowledge. Data's out there. The most trans women don't have a significant competitive edge in sports. Let them participate. I mean, I mention that all the time as well. And people hyper-focus on their victories and rarely ever cover the sequence of L's that they take in the immediate aftermath of those one singular standout victories. But ultimately, once again, the fundamental truth is that people only make this a larger issue than it actually is because they are trans athletes out there and they exist. And no matter how marginal they are, no matter how tiny of a minuscule percentage of actual like overall athletes they are in any particular field, people make a big stink about it. And the reason why people make a big stink about it is because they're transphobic. That very same attitude of otherizing trans people and trans women especially, saying that they have a competitive advantage, they should not be able to, play with cis women, comes from the fact that most people, no matter how like woke they think they are, think that there is some underlying trickery at play, and that trans girls, trans women are actually doing it for a dub in fucking athletic endeavors, an athletic competition, which is transphobic. No one would undergo the brutality that they experience from society and come out as a trans person and demonstrate the courage as coming as a trans person, especially at such an early age, just for the sake of like fucking an NCAA victory. It is a completely psychotic thing. Prove me wrong. Go fucking, go bimbify yourself if you believe that, to like win dubs. Okay, so that's it. It's just that's my position, and that's always been my position. And I just, I find it really strange that we have this conversation over and over and over again. And that's precisely why I always say, like, even if they were dominating, which they usually aren't, even if they were dominating, who cares? Trans women are still women. You don't have this kind of attitude towards like any sort of tall people who are naturally tall. You don't have this sort of attitude towards Messi, who had to literally take supplements and steroids specifically to, I think, what is it, like combat early onset dwarfism, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you cherish people when they are cis and they undergo any sort of situation like that, any sort of like confirmation or any sort of like health, any sort of surgery like that. And you certainly don't care about it if someone is what you declare to be a naturally gifted person. The only time you care about it, actually, as a matter of fact, the only time you care about it is even if it's a cis woman that has naturally higher elevated levels of testosterone production, and they actually end up getting fucking clapped out of the competition for the sake of like normalizing this field.
University of Pennsylvania swimmer Lia Thomas taking first place in the NCAA 500-yard freestyle. She is the first transgender athlete to be crowned NCAA champion, but not without controversy, because critics say she has an unfair physical advantage over the other swimmers and should not have been allowed to compete. Now, second place went to University of Virginia swimmer Emma Wyant, who won a silver medal in last year's Tokyo Olympics. She's getting an outpouring of support on social media, with some calling her the true winner. And we saw, Lauren, at that medal ceremony, the crowd was virtually silent when Lia Thomas was announced the winner, the first place winner, and yet they went crazy cheering for the second place
because
winner.
Lia Thomas went through puberty, right? As a boy, she has bigger lungs, bigger arms, bigger hands, and now she's competing against women who don't have that physically. So they viewed the second place winner, Emma Wyant.
It's so wild that like so much of this also is just like misogyny on steroids. Ironically, it's like just men are better, men are superior, men have, you know, stronger features. You know, men are just stronger in general. If you're assigned male at birth, you're just a winner, baby. And if you're assigned female at birth, you're just a fucking loser, okay? You're just going to lose. You're destined to lose against men, straight up. They're making such a big deal about the sanctity of sports. While a week ago, there was no chance they could have named a single female swimmer. Hey, you know that's my fucking line, okay? All the runner-ups, with the exception of, like, they had to go back all the way down to, like, the 17th place person to find someone who spoke out against her winning. But, like, all the runner-ups actually are in support of her and think she's fucking dope. There were people booing in the crowd when she won. When asked, Thomas was proclaimed the winner on the podium after she gave an interview to ESPN following her victory. She said, "I try to ignore it as much as I can," Thomas said. "I try to focus on my swimming, what I need to do to get ready for my races, and I just try to block out everything else." Similar hostility did not appear to have been shown from other competitors when immediately in the aftermath of the race, both second place Emma Wyant, who won silver in the 400-meter individual medley at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, and third place Erica Sullivan, a silver medalist, shook hands with Thomas in the water. While standing on the podium, all the competitors in the 500-yard freestyle race applauded Thomas when she was announced the winner, except fifth-placed Evie Pfeiffer, who appeared to not clap, according to a video from the arena. They're like desperately hunting for anyone that they can grab onto to be like, oh my God, oh my God. I ask people who are mad about this what the names of the 5 next runner-ups are, and of course they don't know, so I tell them to shut the fuck up. That's the HasanAbi tactic, baby. But I'm just letting you know, they will, if more people start using that line, conservatives are so transphobic, they will learn the names. Knowing the runner-up has nothing to do with the integrity, to be fair. No, dude, it's a fucking dunk because it demonstrates that you don't care about the integrity of the sport or care about it at all. You literally just care about a trans person competing. That's why I'm saying you don't care. No one cares. You only care because a trans person is competing. That's it. What about the trans Olympic weightlifter who came in like 5th place? No, she didn't even came in 5th place. She came in last place. And before she came in last place, everyone was freaking out saying she's going to fucking destroy. She's going to destroy. She's going to destroy. And then she actually fucking failed. And then they turned around and said, oh, she actually failed specifically because she wanted to make way for other trans people to also, I guess, fail. It's because it's not about like anything. It's not about integrity. It's not about anything at all. She was in 400 after starting HRT at the competing. Before that, she was in the top 10 in the men's division. Oh, I did not know that. God damn, dude. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. I did not know that. That actually is really good information. Holy fuck. You ever hear Lia Thomas was a 400th ranked swimmer and now is one? That's a line of deception. Lia Thomas started HRT in May 2019. She competed on the guys team on HRT, hence her low numbers. In 2018, she had top 8 finishes in 500, 1000, and the 1650-yard freestyle. Here are some more stats. It's so weird that we're just like we have to go back and like look at all this shit, defend this argument that like no one should even be making. That didn't really help the case there, lol. Wait, what do you mean? How does that not, like, no, the argument here is quite literally, that completely destroys the case. She wasn't in fucking 400 ranked swimming, apparently. Before she started taking HRT, she literally was top 8. So she was already fucking out competing the dudes before she started taking HRT. Sunglasses Avatar Twitter conservatives this week. My family and I have supported women's swimming for several years, but no longer. We will be getting rid of our merch and season tickets. Further, we will not be watching it on television. Mac Beggs is a trans man that excelled in boys wrestling in high school and college. Transphobes freaked out and he had to compete in girls wrestling. He won the Texas Girls State Wrestling Championship twice. The transphobes got more pissed. What the fuck were they expected? Someone needs to take some things away from conservatives so they have something other than trans athletes to scrutinize. Really such a dumb discussion. Oh, 100%. I do totally blame the Democratic Party for this. I know that, this will be no surprise to many who think I find a way to somehow always yell at Democrats. But if Democrats were genuinely fucking focusing on actual material change and progress, then the reactionary Republicans wouldn't have to come up with new things to get fucking mad about in their never-ending desperate search for the outrage culture machine that they have to gear up with a new fucking marginalized vulnerable victim every goddamn week. And they would have to actually come out with the ridiculous bloodthirsty parasitic worldview that they have, like, actually we should melt homeless people into biomatter, or that, you should be killed in a concentration camp if you don't fucking work. Those are the real positions of the reactionary. But the reactionary doesn't have to fucking take stances against, like, killing poor people, because the reactionary is too busy creating new things that everybody should focus on instead. Give the reactionary something to react to. Progress. But you won't, because you're a bitch as well. The Democratic Party, I mean. For some variety in chat takes, you convinced me about something that I didn't ever think critically about, if at all. Of course you didn't, because you're cis, and I didn't either. And that's why when you don't think about this sort of stuff, you most likely are, of course, going to have what is the normative position, unfortunately, which is transphobic, because gender, in our way of understanding it, in our antiquated Western-centric way of understanding it, is super rigid. It's a binary, even though it's not, okay? Both historically not, and both culturally it has never been. And yet we have that kind of attitude, and that's precisely why there's even trans people who have internalized transphobia before they realize that they're trans, before they come out. It impacts everybody. What I simply ask of you, if you're in here, to just chirp and tell me that, like, it's actually, we should just do a separate trans league or some other dumb shit, is to just take a step back, take a breather, and ask yourself, like, why do I feel these things? Why do I feel like gender is so rigid? And maybe I'm wrong. You can change your mind. Many people in this chat have, because either they don't talk about it or think about it, because they don't have to, or they have desperately sought out information that corresponds to their preconceived notions of the world. Because everybody at a certain point reacts to change in a negative way. They're like, oh, I don't want that. That makes me feel weird. That makes me feel scared. I don't want my brain to be broken and my reality to be shattered by some fucking dickhead himbo LARPing as a socialist, even though he has a multi-billion-dollar mansion, telling me that my understanding of gender that my parents told me was wrong. Fallon Fox got beat the shit out of by a UFC journeyman. Gabby Garcia is cis, 260 pounds of pure muscle, and a world BJJ champion. It's so crazy how that goes against the rhetoric. Transphobia is insane. Yeah. Fallon Fox, like, won one fucking fight and broke someone's, orbital bone. And Joe Rogan ran with that for, like, fucking 10 years almost. It was like 2016. She's just been getting her ass beat nonstop, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Okay, let's hear what Charlie Kirk has to say.
No, I know the real name's Michael, but what if Michaela Phelps just showed up and started to smash records? But
But like, yeah, wait, what if? That's a great example. Yeah, what, you think it was because, like, Michael Phelps is just a man? Or do you think if Michael Phelps was fucking trans, and I'm pretty sure if Michael Phelps was actually a trans woman and decided to undergo HRT, she would probably still fucking clap, demolish cheeks. He's already demolishing fucking cheeks as a cis man. What do you mean? No, that's exactly the same fucking, yeah. That's no shit. What a fucking idiot. Literally a fucking biological freak of nature.
You know what? Michael Phelps would never do that because Michael Phelps is a winner and not a cheater. Michael Phelps actually can win again.
Wait, that's so weird. Wait, but we just established that, like, Lia Thomas was fucking clapping cheeks too before she started undergoing HRT. So I guess the argument is not that, like, this person was cheating to win. And by the way, for any fucking scumbag in my chat that said that this is a straw man, that, like, nobody's saying that people are fucking cheating. Yeah, no, they are. They 100% are saying that. They literally are. That's the whole point. The underlying fear is that, like, there's going to be people who are just changing their gender, like, they're fucking, so they could just win. He said it, and plenty of people believe it.
Against the men of men, and doesn't need to go compete against women. You ready for me to get into some trouble, Connor? Where's Mr. Connor? We don't like when the strong crush the weak. That's why we don't like Putin. That's why we don't like Lia Thomas.
What the fuck? Wait, first of all, dog, you're You're literally like an American jingoistic idiot. So you love when the strong crush the weak. What the fuck are you talking about? That's like the entire American foreign policy attitude is like, the might is right. The strong must crush the weak. They must be destroyed. That's kind of the whole, that's kind of the whole shtick.
Lia Thomas is doing the exact sort of moral behavior. I am not saying Lia Thomas is bombing hospital maternity wards or not. Of course not. It's the same moral principle. I have power, and I'm going to use it.
Bro, I love the underlying assumption that, like, men are powerful. Like, we can destroy women at any given point, right? It's like, bro, you don't even have enough power to fucking, not wear a hat that makes your head look ginormous, or at least not wear a hat that, is slanted in a fucking particular direction that makes you literally look like you got some problems going on. Like you got lobotomized or something. There's like a drool that's about to come out of his mouth as he's describing this.
For my own benefit. If we are not willing to protect those that can't protect themselves, female sports is done. Lia Thomas, whatever.
The female sports is done. There is going to be a wave. This wave has been coming, boys. There's going to be a wave of trans athletes just fucking ripping through the ranks. Just fucking clapping cheeks left and fucking right, dude. It's done. It's over. This is the other reason why I always say you don't give a fuck. Even if that was the case, you literally do not care. The only reason why you care is because, once again, trans women are involved in this. And you just hate trans people. You've never cared about women's sports. You will never care about women's sports. You just don't care about the integrity of anything. You're just using this as yet another opportunity to virtue signal as though you fucking care about this shit.
Man is going to crush all the NCAA women's records. Let this cut 93. Lia Thomas places first in the NCAA 500-yard freestyle swimming competition. National champion as a biological man. Play cut 93. Keep my mic on. So my mic is on. This is a video of this. Lia Thomas wins by 4 seconds. I mean, enough time to go get a sandwich, take a nap.
Bro, come on. He's literally trying to do ESPN commentary on the NCAA women's fucking, like, swimming competition, dude. Dude, it's so stupid. It is so fucking stupid. It is so dumb. I'm sorry. I can't.
And get back in time. It's an eternity in swimming. Where are the feminists? They don't speak. Where are the feminists? They don't talk. We talk as conservatives about this.
Where are the feminists? What do you mean? They're like, if they're TERFs, then they shouldn't. Anyway, and there are plenty of feminists that do talk and defend it. What the fuck? Yeah. Trans women are women. The fuck?
Because we don't like when people use strength to crush people that are weaker. And that's exactly what Lia Thomas.
This is so stupid. It's like 95% of sport is what he's describing. Okay? No, we love it when people with strength crush those who are weaker. There is a weird part about this, like, otherizing of trans women that's got to be, like, in a weird way cool, where I think conservatives unironically think that, like, the average fucking trans woman could just, like, murk professional athletes. You know what I mean? Like, have you not seen a single trans woman? Like, what the fuck? It's just like they think, like, you have superpowers. They're like, you're a super soldier when you're a trans woman, magically. The Becky, actual trans woman, can run a mile, probably never quite tried. Went through multiple psych sessions to get approved for hormones and surgeries. Made some cute stickers the other day. Thinking about making rent and feeding the cats. Low-key sad that the code she wrote isn't compiling. Still trying to figure out debt from uninsured surgeries. Still riding off the high of being correctly gendered earlier that morning. Wearing trans socks under her jeans and wondering if anyone will notice. The Stacey Turf Imagine Trans Woman. Every single female CEO on Forbes list, which is just her face repeated 10 times. Shatters 6 sports records every day. Casually annihilated the very concept of family from this plane of reality this morning because she felt like it. Transitioned 3 seconds with absolutely no institutional barriers. Made $1 million with a single R18 video that caused the entire nation to descend into moral panic over cishet men turning gay for her. Responsible for 116% of the crime rate in the mainland United States. Olympic gold in every woman's sport. Able to make mind-controlling commands to any cis woman in a 2-mile radius by simply speaking a bit louder. Destroys the very definition of gender and gender binary with every step she takes. Single-handedly responsible for the decline in global socioeconomic power of Western civilization. It's great. That is literally how fucking idiots think trans people are. It's crazy. I'm on a team that swims against Lia Thomas. The media was extremely creepy, reaching out to all my friends and even my team's family. Our team supports her as well. Dude, that's so fucking crazy. By the way, shouts out to all the fucking female athletes that are in this field that have to maintain composure in the face of like all these fucking transphobic sick freaks that want to immediately use you and abuse you for brownie points against, again, just a straight up marginalized person, okay? Just a straight up marginalized identity, just to fucking make a talking point and a mockery. It's crazy.
Parents out there who are raising athletes, because the rules of the game are changing and we're figuring out what they should be. Should transgender athletes have an asterisk next to their name?
What?
If they win, right? Because
Wait, what? That's made up. No one has ever suggested that.
Lia was like number 467 when she competed as a male. Now she's number 1 as a female. I mean, it's a tough issue, and I think it's going to be.
That's why the TERF position is so funny. TERFs are like anarcho-capitalists. It's like inherently contradictory to both be a feminist and also simultaneously be trans exclusionary, because it literally revolves around misogyny. Like you're constantly, as J.K. Rowling does, routinely just talking about how fucking sick dudes are. You know what I mean? You're like, fucking dudes, they're so strong. They're so fucking hot, dude. Dudes rock 2022. Dudes rock 2021. Dudes rock 2020. It's always the dudes rock year. Dudes are fucking party rocking. And women suck. Boys rule, girls fucking drool. And then you turn around and you're like, I'm a feminist. It's just so weird to just like, it's like that fucking, what was it? It was like a trans woman that, there was that trans woman that won Jeopardy like 1,000,000 times and TERFs were pissed. It's like, why are you saying men are smarter? In your mind, you think like this trans woman's a man and you're literally saying men are smarter than women. Oh, it's so stupid, dude. I mean, fucking Jesus,